Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to War Stories. My name is Ryan Smeltz. It's Thursday, and before we jump into today's episode, of course, I have to talk about our sponsor, Soldier Girl Coffee. If you are a human being who drinks coffee, then you definitely have to check her out. And a lot of people are like, okay, veteran-owned coffee companies are a dime a dozen. Why should we go check out Soldier Girl Coffee Company? And the reason is because, number one, she was a medic in the United States Army who got out and decided to start a coffee company. One of the only female veteran-owned coffee companies I know of. And two, she does everything she can to support veterans with PTSD and stop veteran suicide through her company, Soldier Girl Coffee. And one of the ways she does that, which I really enjoy, is with CBD coffee. So obviously a portion of the proceeds from her sales go to support her cause, but she also sells a product that helps support PTSD in a sense that if you're unfamiliar with CBD, it helps with keeping you calm and leveling you out. It helps with all different types of symptoms and ailments, whatever you may have. So definitely talk to your local CBD professional if you're unfamiliar with it. But once you understand it, and if you are a CBD coffee aficionado like myself, then head on over to her website. It is in the show notes. You can just go to our website, click on sponsor Soldier Girl Coffee, and find all of her stuff. She has fantastic flavors. My favorite is the classic 100% Colombian ground coffee. She also has Southern Pecan, French Vanilla Cream, and tons of other options, selections, a little bit of merch on there as well if you just want to support the business, but you're not much of a coffee drinker. But at the end of the day, I need my caffeine. We all do. That's how I got through 10 years of the Army. I'm sure that's how you got through your military career as well. So jumping into today's episode, in case you have not been following along online, there has been a short discussion between myself and my brother-in-law because we were in basic training around the same time. So be sure to go to our Facebook page and see if you can dig up his comments on some of the videos and or podcast episodes. But this episode is probably going to start another one of those conversations because we're talking about Thanksgiving training. Okay, so Thanksgiving in training, at this point, it's November. I've already been recycled. Everyone in the first training company has graduated and moved on. More than likely, already had their 2 weeks of leave. The ones who did the recruiter assistant program, whatever that was called, have already done that and gone to their first permanent duty station. And here I am stuck at Fort Leonard Wood because I got recycled and had to do 3 events. So when Thanksgiving came up, basically what happened is they said, okay, if you have family that will be here, then you can go spend the day with them. So at first, I didn't know. But then I think either talked to her on the phone or I forget how I found out, but my older sister was coming in. Obviously, like we talked about in previous episodes, they were dating at the time, my now brother-in-law and her. And so I found out she was going to be there. She got a hotel room nearby. I want to say it might have been on post. And so when I found that out and I was like, oh, okay, you get a pass, family's going to be in town. Plus she was right there. So I wanted to see her. I told the drill sergeants, and when the day arrived, I feel like this is another one of those things that kind of is at the discretion of the drill sergeants and or the training unit. But They said, all right, you're going to be on pass. You have the day. You can spend it with your family, but you have to wear your Class A's. So I had to put on my Class A's, which for those of you who are unfamiliar, back then they were green. So that was pretty exciting. One of the first times I got to put on my Class A's, outside of really trying it on, learning how to put it together, and participating in some formal inspections with the unit. I put my Class A's on, and I went and met up with my older sister and her boyfriend at the hotel room. So spent time with them there. There's a very, very old, very distinct picture of me and Chris in front of the curtains in the hotel room. And I say it that way because he was on pass as well, and that's one reason I talked about the Class A's being at the discretion of the unit, because he was on pass from his unit, obviously, to meet Sabrina, but he was in his BDUs, and I was in my Class A's. So there was, of course, the difference there. We hung out, had a good time. I honestly do not remember. I don't remember if we went to eat or if we stayed in. It was a long time ago. The number one thing I remember is that picture, taking that picture, and it was just, we were just spending the day together. Of course, I had a curfew. I am not sure if he got more than one day to spend with her or not. I just know I had to be back by a certain time. And then, of course, in the middle there, I may come back and talk a little bit about the Phase 5 FTX. I may not, but I wanted to jump forward kind of to Family Day and graduation, which I think my report date to my first duty station was January 2nd of 2006. I believe that's what it was. Might have been like January 4th or 6th, but it's at the beginning of January. So I got almost exactly 2 weeks of leave. So roughly, I would say just a little bit before Christmas. Maybe on like December 20th. Yeah, I definitely don't remember my exact graduation date, but I will tell you that before graduation, they allow you Family Day. And with Family Day, you know, everyone gets excited. Some of them haven't seen their family since they left for training. I kind of got, I was the lucky, unlucky one that got to break his leg and see his family in the middle of training. And then, of course, as well as Thanksgiving, which I had no say in either one of those events. But before or during Family Day, we were basically on area beautification. So this is a time where pretty much everything is finished. All the major training events have taken place. There might be some stragglers. So maybe this one soldier was at sick call when we went and did the Humvee course, or something along those lines. And so if that was taking place on the tail end here, then they're sending those people to make up those training events. And the rest of us were raking leaves. So that's why, you know, you always see the jokes about, you know, what I learned in the Army is how to sweep and mop and rake leaves. I, you know, may not come out with high proficiency in a very specific skill set. I would say that would be a warrant officer, but I've never actually met one. However, that's not true. But However, my point is that we raked a ton of leaves that day. That's why I always say that MPs are the most professional multi-purpose mop pushing maintenance personnel, because I can rake leaves like crazy. So that's what we were doing, and of course, now it's been 21 weeks. This is like the last day or second to last day, so it's been 21 weeks. At this point, the drill sergeants don't care if we work and talk at the same time. Red phase, you're not talking in your sleep. You'll be made to do push-ups also probably in your sleep. But on week number 21, it's over. All we have is graduation. We can get rid of these people, send them to their units, so there's somebody else's problem now. So we're raking leaves and talking with each other. And I'll never forget, the number one topic during this time was essentially how Family Day was canceled. Everyone's family had come in, and they're not being allowed to see us, and they're not going to let us see our families. And everybody, including myself, is going, well, you know, that can't be true, because our families are here. Like, why would the Army, why would a basic training unit allow people to travel so far to see a graduation, to spend Family Day with their family, and then last second just cut it off and say no, nobody comes? And you got to remember, this is 2005, so this is not, you know, besides the wars that we already have going on, it's not like they're locking us down to send us straight out to our units to go deploy. That didn't happen. That wasn't a possibility. If it was, we would have seen other training units in similar situations. So this is the first major thing. I distinctly remember what we called the private news network really getting involved in. So basically, the PNN was a network of news that was mostly false and heavily inaccurate, but it was fun to participate in. You could either stir the pot. If you were gullible enough, you could get scared by some of the news that was coming through the pipeline, or you could just sit back and watch the hilarity ensue. So that's what I have for you today. If you have stories of the private news network from basic training and the terrible rumors that we used to spread within our ranks, then be sure to send us a message or leave it in the comments section below. If you're not aware, this podcast as well as Business and Brews are both on Facebook, so you can actually on your phone click on the podcast tab at the top of both of those pages and just pick an episode and listen directly on Facebook, just like iTunes and Spotify. So, you know, close your app, lock your phone, put it in your pocket, listen to the podcast episode right on Facebook. Be sure to check that out. If you like this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, and then leave us a 5-star review. It helps get the word out. This segment is put together somewhat by a collaboration of my ideas with my co-host on the Veteran Talk Show and some feedback from one of our listeners. So, moral of the story is, if you have an opinion or thought and you communicate that to us, then we're definitely going to take it into consideration. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You do not have to listen on Facebook, but it is an option that most people are unaware of these days. And so just wherever you listen, subscribe. Most importantly, tell your friends to subscribe. That really helps support us. And as of right now, we do not charge for subscriptions. So you can actually just click the button. That's free. You can have that, and your friends can have that. So we really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Ryan Smeltz. This is War Stories, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode.